Hi there, welcome back to The Foundation Presents. My name is Mike Schramm and I'm a board member of the Foundation for West Hartford Public Schools, a private nonprofit group dedicated to funding grants in the West Hartford Public School system to build on the existing curriculum. Today we've got two exciting interviews and then a clip of some student audiovisual work at Conard. I'm happy that you're here joining me, and let's get to it. And now I'd like to welcome on Kelly Smurthwaite, art teacher at Bristow Middle School. Kelly, can you tell me a bit about your grant?
Yes, my foundation grant was fabulous. It was a group of women that came up from New York City, and their group is called the South Korea Spiritual and Cultural Promotion Program. And they're actually funded by South Korea to go into schools and teach about South Korea. So they came in and we made lanterns and paper mache, and they taught us about the symbol of the lotus, which is what this is. And we had different colors, and each color meant a different, had different meaning. Each child, we had 50 children at a time, students come in, and they each made one and took them home. And the ones that I could wrestle back, I hung all around the school and said they'd get them later. But the group of women, about 7 women, came and dressed in these incredibly magnificent Korean dresses, floor length, and were really well prepared and fabulous. They also showed videos about South Korea and its culture, and the lanterns are mostly used in a Buddhist birthday in March, I believe, and they hang them all over the country and in the cities and things like that.
Mind if I take a look at this?
No, go right ahead.
So how did the students build these? This feels pretty delicate to me. Is it made of paper mache?
It's got a metal inside and paper mache, and then they actually twisted the petals here, and then they paper mache'd them on, and they all came out really fabulous.
It's quite beautiful. Were they all this color, or were there different colors?
The purple, red, pink. I think that's what we had there. Yeah, it was great. So the other thing that they did is they showed videos about South Korea and how much the economy has increased and progressed over the last 40, 50 years since World War II, and how they just rebuilt their ports, and their technology is twice what we have. Every student has phones and computers, and the software is amazing. Bandwidth is amazing.
So this sounds like a pretty intensive cultural exchange. Can you tell me a bit how this builds on the curriculum?
Okay, so not only did we really introduce an art of South Korea, so culturally artistic, and we built on history, because the kids were actually amazed how much advanced that South Korea really is. And it was very impressive. And the videos were incredible. They showed from World War II how they were just destitute and no food and no way to make money, and how they built that economy up. And it showed like the cities that are there now and how incredible they are.
So what was the students' response to the women?
Well, they were impressed as they floated around the room in these dresses, and they did exactly what they were told, because I warned them ahead of time.
Always good.
This is not a creative, you can't build whatever you want. This is follow the directions carefully in order to have it come out right. And they were very well received, and we did 6th grade and 7th grade, and they were just incredible.
And this is not the first year that you've done this grant, is that right?
This is about the 3rd year, I think, maybe 4th, that I've invited them up and received a foundation grant for it. I think the first year the school, when I learned about it, it was in the middle of the year and I really wanted to do it, and the school provided, PTO helped, and the school paid for the first time, and then I did 3 more times with the foundation.
So when you have the 6th graders and the 7th graders involved, presumably the 7th graders this year were 6th graders last year and participated in the grant?
Yep, so last year I did 7th and 8th graders. So this year I was able to do 6th and 7th So probably my last year that I do it.
Nice overlap, though, and I'm sure that the kids really enjoyed learning so much about a culture that they may not know about.
Yes, yeah, it was really a great program. They were incredible. They just knew what they were doing, and their videos were amazing.
Yeah, I think that especially now, it's very important that we have cultural exchange programs like this, and I'm happy that the foundation has been able to support it to the degree that we have over the last few years. With that in mind, if there was one thing that you could say to the foundation's donors, what would it be?
Oh, just thank you so much for donating the money. It's just incredible how we can increase and have a great experience for the students and something that they will remember. My 8th graders talk about how they remember when we did the lanterns and are they coming again? And so it's fun to have these programs. It's all exciting, especially as these women walk around in their traditional costumes, and it's very impressive.
You know, I think that's the ultimate point of what we're trying to do here at the foundation. I'm a 13-year product of the West Hartford Public School system myself, and I still remember grants that were done when I was a student, and I think that sort of lifelong impact is really important. So thank you so much for
you're welcome.
the grant.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
inviting
coming
me.
on the show.
Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to welcome on Dana Martin, world languages teacher at Conard High School, and 2 of her students, Gracie and Ivy. Dana, can you tell me a little bit about your grant?
So I was very fortunate. We are very appreciative of the foundation and the grant that we received. How it happened was a little bit unique. I believe last year the foundation actually gave grants to all of the school principals within West Hartford Public Schools. And the principals were tasked with finding a cause or some reason to use the grants within the schools. And so the principal of Conard, Mr. Duarte, he approached me last spring and he said, your video club, the Red Zone Video Announcement Club, RISVAC, would be the best cause that I can think of to really help and support the entire school, and so I would love to give my grant to you. And so he and I sat down, we completed a form sort of explaining what we were using the grant money toward, and that was really how it all started, and we're really appreciative of everything that the grant has been able to provide RISVAC and the club and students.
Well, can you tell me a little bit about RISVAC?
So we make videos for Red Zone, which is our homeroom period, which meets every 2 weeks or so.
Basically, in RISVAC, we kind of inform the students about certain things, like our recent video we touched upon, like we have a pajama day coming up for the Connecticut Children's Medical Center, and kind of issues or kind of fun things around the school to kind of get the Conard community knowing each other a little more.
Mm-hmm. So we always say that RISVAC has 3 goals. Our first goal is to inform students and staff about upcoming events. So just like we said, there's a pajama day coming up in a couple weeks to donate money toward the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. We also showcase events. We actually, as a staff, last year we were discussing, a couple years ago actually, we were discussing that at Conard there's a lot of celebration for sports and things like that, a lot of pride, but then our students do so much more. There's sports, there's drama, there's art club, there's just academic clubs. There's so much that we're proud of in our school, and we felt that we could do a little bit more to sort of cast a spotlight on those events and really sort of show the students what their classmates are doing, because it's really incredible. And so showcasing student school pride is a big part of it, but then finally building those connections between students, between clubs and students, teachers and students. It's a really great sort of connection that we have going with the video announcements.
So we'll run a bit of the most recent video after this clip.
Great.
But can you tell me about how you decide what goes into each video and then how you actually go about producing the video?
Mm-hmm. So I'll talk a little bit about how we get started, and then you guys can sort of take it from there. But we actually have a Google form where students and staff are able to request a video. And so we have basic questions about what is it for, which students are involved, do they have extra information that they can send us, and then from there I compile the data and I pretty much tell my students, we have to make this video, this is the information they provided, and then they take it from there. So do you want to talk about, for example, the garbage ad that we ran?
So basically, Mrs. Martin kind of told us, okay, we need like an ad kind of showcasing the garbage problem. You know, there's a lot of garbage in the halls, how we can kind of help pick that up instead of putting like a burden on like the staff. And so she's like, okay, like we need to make a script, and kind of at our meetings, we kind of break down, okay, so who's going to make the script, and then we can go from there. I think we kind of worked on the script together.
Yeah.
So once we have a script, we kind of, you know, check in, okay, is this what we want to have? Do we touch on all like the different things that we need to have in it? And then we kind of go about kind of filming it, and then we kind of tweak whatever we need to in order to make it kind of fun for everyone to watch.
Yeah. Basically said everything.
So how long does it take you to go from having an idea for a segment to having that finished and filmed and everything? A loaded question.
A long time. If we were to guess, I would say each 1 to 2 minute video, that's about how long each individual video is. I would say at least 2 to 3 hours, maybe even more, because editing takes a long time. I would say about an hour of time per minute of video. And then they worked on the script for quite a long time. I remember about an hour one day after school. And then we filmed it, which took a while because we kept laughing. So that one was especially fun to film. And so I would say probably about 3 to 5 hours per 2 minute video. So the most recent video we had, it was about 12 minutes. And so do the math, what's that, about 30, 40 hours altogether. So the students are working hard.
So how many students are involved in the club?
So it started off pretty small last year, because I remember my friend kind of told me just to join out of like nowhere one day, and so Mrs. Martin kind of told all her students to join. But it started off, I believe there were like 5 students last year, and it's kind of grown by the popularity of each video. Everyone wants to, you know, start joining.
I think I counted this morning, we were up to 17 students. So we just had 2 more students join this week. And so I feel like, just like Gracie said, as the videos get better with the new software that we were able to purchase, really the students and the staff are sort of completely blown away by the videos nowadays. And so they're kind of the popular thing in school, so more and more students are joining.
It seems like it's really growing in popularity, and I'll date myself here a bit. So I graduated from Conard about 10 years ago, and the only video that we would ever have in a classroom was when students were running for student body president, and they would wheel these TVs in with VCRs, and put in the VCR tape, and hopefully it was rewound, because otherwise you have to wait 5 minutes to rewind the tape. So what is the state of audio-visual interest generally at Conard?
I mean, there really isn't any class where we can express kind of our interests like that. We have like a lot of drama at school, but there's no really kind of like production type thing. I know this is like the only thing I can think of if you want to like kind of work on like kind of being with this type of, I don't know what to call
Technology.
it. Yeah. Like this is the only place where I could find. So I mean, it's kind of rare, but with every kind of step we're taking as a club, you know, it's getting more popular, hopefully to get like a class at Conard.
And in terms of how we view the videos, we've gotten away from VHS carts on wheels.
I imagine.
And so, yes. And so we actually, most of the classrooms, if not all, have a smart board. And so we actually view the videos on a large smart board. And so sort of big screen moment for all of the students, and it's a great way to showcase everything. We also figured out a way to include closed captioning recently, and so we have a student population as well as a few teachers who are deaf and hard of hearing, and so now they're also able to enjoy the videos with the subtitles that we're able to put on. So really the videos are fun and accessible for all students and staff within the building, and we're really proud of that. And
good. I'm glad. I'm glad that it's as inclusive as it can be,
Yes.
and it seems like there's a large number of students who are actually on the shows, and a lot of teachers too. But I want to key in on the idea that this is not a class. So you said 30 to 40 hours, and that's all being done after school and on top of all the homework and studying for tests and everything that happens when you're a high school student. How does that compare to other school districts in the area? Is it common to not have this as a class, or is West Hartford more of an outlier?
So the reason that I'm involved and I created this club last year was actually I was the president of my video production club. I went to Ram High School in Hebron. And so video production was huge at our school. We had, I want to say, 4 or 5 different classes that you could take, as well as the club. So I participated through the club, and we worked a lot with, I believe we had the set from Channel 3 News at our school, and it was just really interesting and fun. And then my old school, where I worked previously, also had that same sort of thing, the video production class. And then when I started working in West Hartford a few years ago, I realized we didn't have anything. And so for me, that was really bizarre. I know that we have the West Hartford Community Channel right here in town. We have NBC right next door. We have so many resources at our fingertips, so many connections, ESPN right down the road. And many of the neighboring schools also have video production courses. And so I said, we need to do something about it. And so I spoke to teachers and staff and people within the building, and they said they've always wanted to try something out. And so I just went for it, and sure enough, the students started joining, and the videos, we've gotten rave reviews every single time. These girls are celebrities every time they appear, and other students, and so it's just really grown. And maybe one day, I would hope that there's enough student interest that we could start a class, a video production class within West Hartford, between both of the high schools. There's actually interest in some of the elementary schools and middle schools in the area as well. And so once again, students are being exposed to these technologies and software at a younger age, but then they get to the high school level and then that sort of disappears. So in the meantime, we have RISVAC, our video club, but hopefully one day we can have enough interest to prove the need for a video production class, which I think would be really great.
Yeah, I think you really laid that out pretty well in terms of the need there. And nowadays everyone's got their phone, and I'm sure that people who are now in elementary school will have a lot of experience being in front of a camera by the time they're in high school. So I'd imagine the interest would only increase. And for you guys, for doing this as an after-school activity, how does that work with your schedules?
Well, they always I play sports all 3 seasons, which kind of, you don't really see me as much in this season, but kind of it's really flexible. Mrs. Martin kind of makes it, can anyone edit? There's always, as we get more people, there's a lot more people that can come and kind of take on responsibilities that other people may not be able to fill. So it's not like a set thing, you need to be here, It kind of makes it more fun, that it's really laid back and easy to be a part of.
And for me, I only do sports 2 seasons, so it's not as much work for me to find time in my schedule for it. But as Gracie said before, it's still flexible, and if you're able to edit, you can. Like, I remember when I was really busy with sports last season, and I didn't have to edit as much, but I still tried to contribute by doing other things. Like, there's many things you can do within the club, such as filming, footage at sports events, or you can edit. You just have to find time for it and your schedule, and it's not hard to find time because it's really flexible.
So where do you see RISVAC going in the next few years?
The next few years, every video keeps getting better and better. With the new software that we received with the grant money, our videos, we're just learning so many new things. We actually had Craig Diamond come in. He's part of West Hartford, the public school district in terms of the videographer, and so he came in and gave a training for our students, and we're always looking for ways to improve our videos. I think just showcasing, continuing to find ways to showcase the events that students are doing, really advertise upcoming events. I know that we're also working with a new camera that we received through the grant as well, and we're hoping to live stream some events for parents. So instead of parents, if they're unable to attend an event and come into school, then perhaps they can actually watch it online. Either during the event or after. And so we're really looking to expand and provide those connections and communication for many people within the West Hartford community. I would love, once again, maybe within a couple years, for there to be so many students interested in the club that we could start a class. I think that would be really valuable. I mean, with the 21st century, like you said earlier, everyone's on their phones, everyone's on YouTube. There's such an interest for videos, and to think that once again we don't have a program is kind of funny. And so hopefully one day we can implement that program here in West Hartford.
Well, it's so interesting because on the one hand, it satisfies the need for students to have this creative outlet, and on the other hand, the idea of live streaming, whether it's concerts or a play or musical or a sporting event of any kind, I know for myself, my grandparents were in the Midwest when I was a kid, so they could never see me at a wrestling meet or a track event. The idea that they could just log in and watch that online would be really wonderful, and I feel like would help stitch together the West Hartford Public Schools community even more than it already is. Well, if there's one thing that you could all say to the donors to the foundation that helped make the grant possible, what would it be?
What do you guys think?
Sorry.
It's fine. I think I just want to thank them for giving us this money, because with the new software, all this new equipment, it's really improving our videos, making it better, and like making it growing as a community.
Yeah, just as Ivy said, like, you know, thank you so much to the people that gave us this money. We're kind of being able to go to places with these videos that we didn't really expect when Mrs. Martin, you know, started this club. We're just able to, you know, connect the Conard community so much more now, and everyone kind of has this comical relief in Red Zone, and kind of, you know, I don't know, it's kind of just creating this whole thing that it's just really amazing. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, the biggest message is thank you to the foundation and to the donors. It's really, as the girls just articulated, it's completely changed the vibe of Red Zone, our advisory period, as well as just really fostering a warm and fun and welcoming community within school. And the teachers appear and the staff appear in the videos and the students appear, and everybody sort of just has a good time, and students need that. Everyone's overworked these days, so students need that time to just relax and watch their classmates on video and see the showcased events and sports and drama acts and things like that. So we're really grateful for the foundation, as well as Mr. Duarte for giving us that opportunity. So thank you to the foundation.
Well, sure. I mean, this is the exact kind of program that the foundation loves to fund. It's helping students explore creative outlets. It's bringing the community together. I mean, it really does it all. So thank you guys for the work that you're doing. And like I said, we'll play a little clip from one of your videos after this so our viewers can see them and hopefully get on YouTube and find you guys as well. So thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time. And again, thanks for all that you do.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys. Hey. Why are you in a chair?
I'm so lazy today. I don't feel like getting up.
Oh, well you do look really comfy. I wish I could wear my PJs to school every day.
Well, you can on December 14th. It's a school-wide event.
That sounds like so much fun. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, it's being hosted by the NHS at Conard. If you come in your PJs that day, you can give $1 to support research at Connecticut Children's Medical Center.
Wow, I bet it would change so many lives of the kids that go there.
You would be changing many lives.
Where do I give my donation?
Make sure you give it to an NHS member during one of the lunch waves. If you don't have a lunch wave, give it to Miss Hesmer Cruz in room 113.
Wow, I can't wait to mark that date off. December 14th. Thank you so much for the information.
Well, of course, that's our job.
Wow, I guess wearing your pajamas gives you superpowers.
Every day, millions of students at Conard contribute to the ever-growing amount of trash at our school. 2 trillion tons of trash are found each day and meticulously picked up by our amazing and hardworking custodians. This needs to stop. Conard is turning into a trashy place, a poor representation of our amazing student body and staff. See? Why be lazy? Let's work together to make this school look like the beautiful place it is, one piece of trash at a time. Here's what we can do. Clean up after yourself. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Clean up trash that you see on the ground rather than just walking by it. Encourage other people to responsibly dispose of their trash. Leave places looking better than you found it. This includes classrooms, hallways, lunch tables, and even sports facilities. The custodians are not here to clean up after your mess. Be the responsible young adult of the Conard community.
Well, folks, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks you so much for joining us. And if you'd like to learn any more about any of these grants or the other work that the foundation does, please visit fwhps.org.